They've got to use the service, and they all sign up. And then guess what? 80% of them go out of business. So then JuiceBox loses 80% of their customers because they're all out of business because they're Silicon Valley startups. And then it's like, oh shit, I just don't see this ending that well for these guys. But I could be wrong. I'm just not falling.
You're not going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe?
For the banana in the tailpipe.
If you're going to hop on a boner, it might as well be sequoias.
I got nothing on that one. You're right about that. You're not teasing on the sequoia one.
You're teasing me.
Come on, just slam an iron brew and let's do this, boys.
Hide your kids. Lock the doors. You're listening to HR's most dangerous podcast. Chad Sowash and Joel Cheeseman are here to punch the recruiting industry right where it hurts. Complete with breaking news, brash opinion, and loads of snark. Buckle up, boys and girls. It's time for the Chad and Cheese Podcast.
Oh, yeah. We are gathered here today to get through this thing called life. Hey, kids, it's the Chad and Cheese Podcast. I'm your co-host, Joel, the Fat General Cheeseman.
This is Chad. What's going on, Sowash?
And on this episode of HR's Most Dangerous Podcast, JuiceBox squirts, Waymo leaks, and Gemini gushes. Let's do this.
Yes. Done. I think we'll cover speed and hiring.
Did somebody say speed? Then buckle up, boys. You're about to learn how to hire fast.
Who is that?
Vetty Betty. From Vetty, the hiring acceleration platform. Come on, man, keep up. What's up, Betty?
Hey, Chad. Vetty makes high compliance hiring easy. Background checks, licensing verifications, and health screenings, all in one place. Real-time updates, no red tape, and no delays. Hiring managers can move fast, stay smooth, and close the deal.
So they just sit back and watch. Hell, I could watch this all day.
That's right. Relax, enjoy the view, and don't lose the hire. It's that simple. With Vetty, it's all taken care of before they can even catch their breath.
Best lesson ever.
Class dismissed, boys. Vetty. Hiring as it should be. Visit vetty.co to learn more.
And I'm back.
Back. He's back, baby. Red, white, and blue. Let's go.
Back in America.
America Chat is back. So get ready for the saltiness, the depression, the pissiness. Like, I'm ready. I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
So the first thing I did this morning, I woke up this morning, had to prep for the show, take a lot of time. Yesterday was a very, very long travel day. Good travel day, but very long travel day. So got some good rest. Got up. I needed some music to get it rolling. And one of my favorite songs of all time is Marvin Gaye's What's Going On, which was dropped back in the greatest year ever, 1971, and focused on the fact that the world is on fucking fire. Vietnam was raging. Cops are cracking skulls. People are broke. The planet's gasping for air. And instead of screaming, which Marvin Gaye could have done, that's not what Marvin does. Marvin used his style. It's about as smooth as Blanton's on a big rock. Long story short, Martin is telling everyone, open your damn eyes, lead with some empathy, and maybe quit being terrible fucking humans. And I felt it apropos for my first morning back, and maybe every morning until I get back on the beach again. We'll see.
For the listeners, a little inside baseball about the show. Typically, Chad and I share topics and news items on our feed, and then around Wednesday, we powwow and say, okay, what do we want to talk about? And my message to him was, and I knew he had traveled yesterday, or like he was probably in a mood. And I said, you know what, man, I got nothing like really easy to have to add to the lineup. I said, it's basically shitty times in a shithole led by shitheads. And I was like, that's basically the theme for the week. So we'll this will either be the worst show that we've ever done, or maybe it'll be the best. But man, it is wild times.
Depending on your mindset.
Yeah. Have a drink, everybody.
Okay. Here we go.
the generals thing. Let's get to this. The generals were called in from around the globe. Basically a dog and pony show. I was kind of hopeful that it was the alien invasion was coming and they had to get all the generals ready.
All in one place so that they could all get killed. I
thought Three Eye Atlas was real. It was coming to kill us all, and the generals needed to prepare for it. But no, it was a big dog and pony show. So you as a military vet, I really want to hear your take on this, the optics of it. If you were a general, what would be your mentality of what went down? What do you think?
Well, first off, what a mess. You've got Captain Bone Spurs with Captain Bone Head, both incredibly unqualified for the positions they hold, talking to some of the most qualified people in the fucking world about their craft, right? Mm-hmm. Generals have been in those positions for 40 years, right? 30, 40 years, right? So that, and don't get me wrong. I mean, I was an infantry drill sergeant in the U.S. Army. I hate seeing soldiers, sailors, airmen, coasties, ones that aren't ready or and mission capable, right? I hate that. So maybe they're fat and they can't make, basic physical standards, but listening to a Big Mac eating slob whose fat ass broke the UN escalator. I mean, now that's pure hypocrisy there, man. And if I was a general, and what I think they mostly did was you just sit there stoic, you take it all in and you get the fuck out and then you go do business. Mm-hmm. Right. And that was the thing for me is like, it's like your 12-year-old coming to you, or let's say Jeremy, your 8-year-old coming to you, talking to you about finance, right? You might not be, well, and let's say, for instance, talking to your accountant about finance. That's even better, right? Uh-huh. Let me tell you how this money thing works, financial advisor, right? It doesn't make any sense. And anybody who's ever been in the military, to see a guy like Pete Hegseth, actually be elevated to the position that he's at, it hurts. It really does. We're used to seeing men and or women in those types of positions who literally have spent their whole fucking life, CIA, FBI, Department of the Army, DOD, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. And this fucker, I mean, none of that.
What are your thoughts on the name change from Department of Defense to Department of War?
I mean, it's basically everything that Trump does. He changes like the Gulf of America. What did that actually do for anybody or anything? Nothing. Neither does this, right? And to be able to start this whole idea of a war stance versus defense stance, I mean, we were and we should still be a country of diplomacy. That's out the window. So it does make sense, but we're not. Wait, the problem is he was talking about waging war against citizens, American citizens. That was the problem. The Department of War against American citizens. Training in the urban settings of Chicago, LA, New York. That is for anybody is unsettling. And what we're seeing is many of the things that Trump has actually put into place. And look at all these Arkansas soybean farmers who are like, what in the fuck? How are you giving $20 billion to Argentina, who is one of our biggest competitors in soybeans? And China's not buying shit from us. Oh, wait a minute. You're going to pay us with tariffs? Wait a minute. That's backwards. What the fuck is going on?
The beef farmers, it's all Australia now. All the beef that China's buying is Australia. So I mean, farming is a whole topic. But time is of the essence. My thing was I wasn't in the military. I appreciate and respect and know a lot of the history. Military to me is based on strategy and then tactics. Like, what are we going to do and how are we going to do it? And I got none of that from all the anything that I watched from that. It was sort of Hegseth giving a wannabe history lesson on like Roman war tactics or strategies. And then Trump was just, I think, expecting to get laughs and applause. And it was just stoicism. And he was totally thrown off his game. But I agree with you that the talk of enemies abroad and within was certainly something I've never heard before in my 54 years. That was certainly scary. And I can't imagine the inner turmoil a soldier would have on, well, like the New Orleans, right? Our talk with the general, like put your guns down. These are Americans. This isn't what you're here to do. If in the similar situation, is that is the temperature going to come down, and will better heads prevail, better angels prevail if that ever does happen? I don't know.
Over 80% of you watching right now, you watch over and over. We know you do, but you haven't liked and you haven't subscribed. Let's do that. Let's do that now. Again, what's going on? Go listen to a little Marvin Gaye.
Gaye with your ADP report for Tilt's talking about shit shows.
Yes.
So ADP, I'm sure you saw, dropped 32,000 jobs. So we're in the negative. Yeah. And then they actually revised August, I think, which was a positive, and now 3,000 down. We have the government shut down, so we're not going to get BLS data when we normally do.
I don't think we would have anyway.
I'm not sure we can trust it anymore anyway. That's been politicized to hell. Any thoughts on the state of jobs and just where we're going with the data, and what can we trust?
I mean, get ready for more, firings, layoffs, whatever you want to call them, from the government. I mean, this shutdown is literally, they've already fired hundreds of thousands of workers, government workers, right? So this is just all the part of the plan for them. And, they're going to get something one way or the other. It's going to hurt everybody but them, and they don't care. So, I mean, whether it's BLS, I mean, we don't have the basic personnel to run the BLS, even if we could, right? And there are many other departments that just can't function. So, yeah, I mean, it's going back to kind of Grover Norquist's, fucking hobbit ass, where he talked about having a government, so small you could drown it in a bathtub. That's where they're going. And if that happens, you have no fucking clue, who takes care of the citizens. And that's what the government is supposed to be there for. The ones who do need help. And there are people that are out there, and I'm sure everybody out there listening knows some of those people.
Doesn't anyone notice this? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
So one thing did catch my attention with the ADP data. So healthcare continues to keep us afloat in a lot of ways. Thank God for the sick boomers. As much as we hate them, they're keeping things afloat.
Sick and dying,
and they're spending money. But the spending money part was a little bit scary, because we lost jobs in the leisure and hospitality realm, and we need those rich old people to keep going to restaurants and cruises and doing all that stuff. So if
they were all in Greece while I was there, Jesus Christ. Fuck, I've never seen so many old fucking Americans in my life. Going through what you don't want to do, kids. Joel and I are both 54. If you want to go to the Acropolis, go while you are still mobile. Okay. And I'm not being mean to the people that were 60, 70, 80 who had canes and whatnot, but there's a lot of walking that's going to happen in Greece, especially in Athens, right? So go ahead, save up now and try to get it done, because Jesus Christ, it looked like a fucking old folks home while I was there. And they're all Americans.
Yeah. Can you take a walker to the Acropolis? Is that...
yeah, you can. If you pay. I mean, Greek's going to take your money. Smart for them.
Is it time for shout outs?
Yes, and I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to bring the temperature up a little bit. We're going to go ahead and shout out to the European Ryder Cup team. The Ryder Cup team actually won 13-15 over the Americans. Now, the U.S. did make a very valiant comeback. It wasn't enough, but it was great to watch from a golf standpoint, not so much from Americans being assholes standpoint. But here's the thing, and this is just my opinion: if you are an athlete and you're getting paid millions of dollars, and people are mouthing off to you, calling you choker or whatever they're calling, right? I mean, come on, you get paid a lot of money to be an entertainer, to be a sports person, right? Now, I draw the line when your wife gets hit with beer or something like that, or you get beer, anything physically happens, there's a line there. But you should be able to go ahead, chalk it up to there's always going to be assholes there, and just play the game, right? So, unfortunately, Rory McIlroy's wife actually had a beer thrown at her.
Yeah, that wasn't cool.
And it's not cool, dude. It's not cool. Not to mention you get the U.S. had a great comeback coming on. And I mean, that was the day before, but wow, we just want to have good sports. Yes, trash talking is going to happen. That's cool. But let's try to keep the physicality on the actual field, the course, the pitch, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Bruh.
I mean, this is Trump's America, and it's spilling out into the world, right? I mean, Trump comes out, he rolls his bubble butt ass onto the green, which was hilarious. I mean, so it's no shock to me that the whole mood of the thing went Trump, like heckling. So anyway, and by the way, it's golf. Like we've been to the Waste Management golf tour, golf.
Oh,
like that's nuts.
Oh my God.
And that is a welcome insanity that the whole event loves. I don't know if this event should spiral into that, if that's a good thing. But
I mean, the Ryder Cup's always been rowdy. It's always been rowdy. But when you go to the Waste Management, and I think it's like 16 or 17, where it's the par 3, and there's an arena built around the par 3, and there's 20,000 fucking people. And when there's a hole in one, beer gets thrown. When you don't hit it on the green, you get massive amounts of booze. I mean, it's just that's what it's geared for. It's incredibly cool. It's fun, and that's what you kind of know. That's what's going to happen. And with Ryder Cup, you kind of know that there's going to be a lot of mouth and bullshit and trash talking, but just not the physical stuff. Yeah. Gotcha.
Well, I'll get to my shout out here. I mentioned the 10%, the richest people in America are doing 50% of the consuming. We know that about 7 companies are basically holding up the entire stock market. That scares me a little bit. That reeks of like the vending machine that you rock back and forth, and eventually like it falls over, and the cola and the soda washes out. So I paid real close attention this week to CarMax earnings report. So talk about a shit show. If you want to look at sort of what the real economy is doing, look at things like used cars, right? This is what kind of dictates. So the stock plunged 20% in a single day. Its year to date is down 45%. Sales are deteriorating. Pricing power is collapsing, and foot traffic is drying up. And this is, by the way, in light of people afraid of tariffs and getting ahead of the tariffs to like, I'm going to get my car now just in case something is off. So I think used cars are a leading indicator for 3 primary reasons. When buyers in used cars rely on credit, when sales drop, borrowing is apparently harder and more expensive for people. That's obvious. Discretionary demand. So people can delay or downsize purchases when money's tight, right? When they don't know if they're going to have a job, if they don't know if, the money's going to be there, they just hold off on buying something like a car. It's not a necessity. They can put it off for a while. And then also what scares me is that many of the collateral and loans on used cars are tied to subprime loans and securitized debt. So is another domino to fall in the finance component to all this, right? If people aren't buying cars, they can't afford cars, are they not affording the payments? If they can't afford the payments, the banks start feeling it. And when the banks start feeling it, like dominoes start to fall. So I know that the market is up. I know we're feeling, maybe kind of good about things, but to me, this is a house of cards that is really, really scary. And tariffs are just going to start kicking in. We talked about farmers. We talked about the year of efficiency is leaking down into Exxon and Starbucks, and so all these sort of next level companies, layoffs are happening. Small businesses next. It's pretty scary. So sorry to damper the mood after your fun golf shout out, but it concerns
we can always
me.
Bring it up with some free stuff.
There you go.
We got to bring the temperature up or down. Sorry,
people do love free stuff.
I like free stuff.
So what do we have? Everybody knows we got chicken cock. If you want 2 bottles, that's right. You have 1 bottle of cock in each hand. That is every every month, kids, we give this away. 2 bottles, chicken cock, going to arrive at your front door. This is coming from our friends over at Van Hack, who they're kicking ass and taking names right now with all this shit happening in the U.S.
Thank you, H1B. Thank you, H1B.
Yes, I mean, if you need some help on the tech side and you're looking for operations or something like that, or you have them in Canada, holy shit, you should be calling Fan Hack. Not to mention, maybe get a couple of bottles of cock while you're at it. Then we've got T-shirts, the Chad and Cheese sexy smooth T-shirts from those kids over at Aaron App. You know Aaron App. The little slothy guys. Then we've got some craft
and the red
beer.
shoes. Don't forget the red shoes.
Yeah, the
Chad.
red shoes. Yeah, those red shoes.
By the way, did you have a lot of shipments, a lot of packages to open when you got home?
I did. Yes, I did. Yeah, it's nice to come home after about 4 or 5 months,
like
and then it's like Christmas every time.
Yeah.
But what really is Christmas if craft beer shows up on your doorstep. That's right, craft beer from those tech geeks or data geeks rather at Aspen Tech Labs. And I mean, what we should be doing is talking to those guys about what the hell's going on with the jobs report, because they have all of the fucking jobs data.
Who needs the BLS? Let's get Tim Deneen on the phone and see what's going on with Aspen Tech Labs these days.
And if you want any of those things, again, free stuff, you go to chadcheese.com/free, chadcheese.com/free, register. And guess what? Next thing you know.
Yeah. Go to the web and then go on the road, Chad.
Events. Where are we going, boys?
Louisville. That's where we're going.
Here we go, Chad.
And anybody out there who says Louisville, we know you're not from around these parts. I remember
Louisville.
When growing up in North Central Ohio, we always said the Louisville Slugger, right? Everything was Louisville.
Yeah.
Then I came down here to South Central Indiana, and I said Louisville once, and everything else was fine except for that word. Yeah, it's Louisville. Okay, so we're going to be in Louisville with Havas People. I don't know if you know those guys or not, but they are coming to America. Havas People. So if you're in Louisville and you're an HR and or tech practitioner, if you're just in the space at all, registered to meet up and come on over to Chicken Cock's new speakeasy. They literally just opened this place up, kids. Got these cool craft cocktails. We're going to be there for a few hours, some industry discussions, drinking, all the fun stuff that Chad and Cheese and Chicken Cock and go figure our friends over at Havas People love to do. DM Joel for a registration link.
Only if you love chicken cock, though.
Oh, I love chicken cock. I do. I love it.
And not to mention Steven's going to be there. Then we roll down to Nashville for Wreckfest, where our favorite Scotsman, again, Stephen McGrath, is going to be on stage with us. We're going to be emceeing the Disrupt stage on October 15th. Tons of amazing content. We have practitioners on stage. We have showcase practitioners on stage for 3 different interviews that Joel and I are both doing. And those are coming from our friends over at Jovio, Dahlia, and Covey. They got some of their customers. We got to be able to not just talk about what they're doing, but also talk about what they're doing overall in tech. So come to the Disrupt stage, bring your notebooks. And then in November, we're having the Chad and Cheese Road Show. We're heading to all 3 RL100 events in San Francisco, San Diego, and Dallas. So if you are a TA practitioner, and we're talking about high-level leader, TA leader, recruiting leader, go to, what's that one again? It's resourcingleaders.co. You can go to chadcheese.com. It's going to be on the header. Just click register, and then you can check out all the different locations that we're going to be at. But again, San Francisco, San Diego, Dallas, chadandcheese.com roadshow with RL100.
Yeah, and don't forget, Chad, that you and I are going to be teabagging. I mean, not teabagging. Tag teaming Jeff Taylor, founder of Monster, and now
separate event,
Boom Band. Yeah, you'll be at Wreckfest. I will be at ERE Solo, flying solo at the Wells Vagina in San Diego, ERE.net. Get your tickets now. I'll be on stage with the man, Jeff Taylor, finding out about this new company, a little history lesson.
Man.
We're going to dig into stuff. I'm going to see how much you beat him up to see how nice I can be, or how I have to treat him on stage. But it's hard to be mean to people in San Diego. It's such a light, sunny, nice place. So I'm hoping you do a lot of the heavy hitting and then I can just kind of
That's usually my
hang
job.
out with a Mai Tai on stage with Jeff Taylor, who's not playing fantasy football, by the way.
Shit. Bad week.
That's right, kids. Fantasy football powered by our friends at Factory Fix. We're in week 4, headed into. Here's your leaderboard as we head into another week of fantasy football. Number 1, Mackenzie Maitland is still on top. Courtney Napo, your boy right here at number 3. At number 3 with a 3-1 record, followed by David Stiefel, Jason Putnam, Megan Radigan. Stephen the Scottish Hammer McGrath is still kicking ass and taking names. I got to say, I'm very impressed, but I shouldn't be.
Welcome to All Things Scottish. Our slogan
Because
is, if it's no Scottish, it's crap!
Scottish,
he's
no
our favorite
football.
Scot.
That's
That's
right.
why.
He is our favorite Scot. Followed by William Carrington, Jada Weiler, Chad number 10, Ginger Dodds, and Jeremy Rogers. Somebody wake him up. He's asleep in the chicken coop, I think. Anyway, that's another week of fantasy football with Chad and Cheese, powered by our friends at Factory Fix, which now leads us into your favorite, Chad. That would be topics.
Topics! What are we talking about?
All right. In the news this week, JuiceBox, an AI-powered search engine for recruiters, raised $36 million in total funding, including a $30 million Series A round led by Sequoia. The platform, which uses natural language processing to analyze professional profiles and identify qualified candidates, has quickly gained traction with over 2,500 customers and $10 million in annual recurring revenue. The company says its ability to infer information about candidates and automate the candidate search process sets it apart from the competitors. Chad, I want to hear your hot take on the JuiceBox.
Well, first off, anybody named JuiceBox, you just gotta love it. you say, and company JuiceBox, like, oh, I love a good juice box. Amy, the only way it could be better if the company's name was Capri Sun, pouch of juice.
Was it the Chad?
Great.
So everything that they're doing is obviously going off like a fucking rocket, for God's sakes. $10 million as fast is pretty amazing. Being able to capture Sequoia's attention, getting $30 million. I mean, I love what they're doing. It is an incredibly noisy market. The big question here is, will they go off on their own, build their own platform, their agent platform, right? Compete with the Salesforces, compete with the Workdays, compete with all these bigger companies that are going to be building these agent-based platforms.
Yep.
Or will they sell? And that's the big question, because, my advice for a company like JuiceBox would to be more firmly positioning themselves as a Perplexity in the talent space, which they're slowly starting to do. I mean, they've done it on the search side, kind of like the AI search side, fairly well. But I think where they could do better, and I think they're starting to evolve, is on the agent side, and then easily embedding those agents into core platform. And getting injected straight into those bigger portfolios, which they've got to be doing. I don't know what their go-to-market is, but they have to have some major core platform partnerships, because there's no way you're getting to $10 million that fast, right? Unless you have some really good partnerships put in place. But anyway, in a very noisy market, go-to-market is key and it's major. The big question is, are they looking toward platform, which I doubt with all that Sequoia money. I could be wrong. But I doubt, and IPOs just aren't fashionable these days, to be quite frank. Staying public is much more fashionable. But I love what they're doing. Agents are big, and they will continue to be big. Why? Because when you start injecting, we'll talk a little bit more about this when we on the Google side of the house in the next one. But this to me is incredibly smart. The big question is, will they evolve fast enough to get to platform status, right? Or will they go ahead and focus on that M&A side? I would go more toward the latter and focus on less headcount, more revenues, pumping that up for M&A, getting acquired in the next 12, 18 months. Probably won't even take that long with this kind of revenue.
Yeah. You said injection.
We have the meat.
All right. I hate to pull this out so early in the show, but
Get off my line, you no good punk kids.
All right. So these two founders, one of them was 19, I think, when they launched this company. Which basically means they were barely in diapers when Intello and the whole sourcing phenomenon first happened. So maybe they don't remember how that worked out. So you had sourcing, it became commoditized. We've talked about it to death on this show. So you had commoditization. Everybody had the same bits of data. LinkedIn sued everybody else into submission, and everybody pivoted or went out of business. And that's where we are today. So these guys are basically a lot of the same thing. I mean, when I was reading, I was like, holy shit, this is like reading the Intello press release in 2012 about
that's harsh.
They launched.
That's harsh.
Like, we got secret sauce. We know when people are going to leave a job. We got signals and shit. Like, okay, good. So the thing that sets them apart, and you talked about it, is the agents. Okay. Maybe their agents are better than ChatGPT's agents. Maybe they're better than Gemini's agents. Maybe they're better than all the other agents that are going to be coming down the pike. Call me grumpy old man, and that's fine. But I think that we're going to see a lot of these agent companies, and they're all going to get commoditized, or they're going to get squashed by who knows who. They're not going to have the ammunition to take on big tech. These guys need to sprint in like a 2 to 4 year time horizon, windows still open, build this shit up and sell it and get the fuck out, and then go do what other 20-year-olds do instead of build companies. But look, can they do that? Yes. Do I think like Series C and shit? I don't see that. I see build this, sprint, and like get the hell out. So
yeah,
if that's your litmus test for success, great. But to me, this smelled way too much like history, and you know how I feel about history.
Yeah, I think they really, in the agent side of the house is it doesn't look as mature as the rest of it. If they really focus on productizing those agents and making it easier, because it seems kind of flaky right now with their agents. Come and buy 1 or 2 agents. What the fuck do those agents do? Well, whatever you want. Well, that's not, you're giving too many fucking options, right? Whatever you want is not what I want. What I want is better X, Y, or Z, right?
Yeah.
So being able to build those agents for specific solutions for problems, so solutions to those problems, that's when you start to really kill it. And then you embed those into an applicant tracking system, an HCM, CRM, those types of things, and then it just fucking rocks. Yeah. And then all that shit happens and nobody even fucking knows. Because it's happening behind the fucking scenes. Yeah. It's tech.
To their credit, it looks like they're doing the integration game, but this seems to happen in Silicon Valley every 10 to 15 years. Like someone reinvents the wheel, some investor gets a boner, and then all the startups in the area go, oh, this company's hot. We got to use all this shit. We've got to use this service. And they all sign up. And then guess what? 80% of them go out of business. So then JuiceBox loses 80% of their customers because they're all out of business because they're Silicon Valley startups. And then it's like, oh shit. So I just don't see this ending that well for these guys. But I could be wrong. I'm just not falling.
You're not going to fall for the banana and the tailpipe?
For the banana and the tailpipe.
If you're going to hop on a boner, it might as well be sequoias.
I got nothing on that one. You're right about that. You're not teasing on the Sequoia one.
You're teasing me. You naughty.
All right, now who's not teasing us, Chad, is Google. Gemini in Chrome for Mac and Windows is now free for all users with new features like a floating chat, multi-tab information comparison, and deeper integration with Google services. Upcoming agentic capabilities will allow Gemini to perform tasks on your behalf, such as booking appointments or ordering groceries. And I'll insert searching for a job on my own. Chrome is also enhancing security with AI-powered features like safe browsing, enhanced protection, and a password agent. Chad, you're the Google guy on the podcast. Give us a hot take.
So remember, if it's free, you are the product. Yeah, you're the product, kid.
So you get nothing.
So
you lose. Good day, sir.
Also remember that if Google was forced to divest Chrome, which they almost were That didn't happen. That Perplexity wanted it, and they also had a bid in for it. So instead, Perplexity will have to push forward with their AI-infused Comet browser. So a few weeks ago, we talked about Comet, and it was and still is my position that this will be the way Google can start to really monopolize the use of AI. And here's what I mean by that. So I have two immediate ways that AI companies like Google will force AI into our lives, and we will gladly accept it. Yep. Number one, through the browser. Okay. People have a behavior of using their browser on their laptop, phone, any device. That browser is used in many cases to take them to Claude, ChatGPT, Perplexity, or whatever LLM they use, right? Not to mention to look for recipes and porn. So behavior is the key here, and they all know it. So now that Google doesn't have to divest Chrome, you'll probably hear less about Gemini and more about the AI Chrome browser. Why? Because many of us have been using Chrome since 2008. It's embedded in our behavior, our lifestyle, our devices. And that's what many companies with tech, really great tech, fail to understand. They can't find a way to change users' behaviors. It's very hard to change user behavior. The answer is to embed the tech into your daily routines. That's why Google is going to do this with Chrome. And this is going to be something big. Number two, agents. We just talked about it. We've also talked about how Amazon can infuse AI agents into their cloud to focus on customer software maintenance, upgrades, and receiving software development staff, or just relieving software development staff of the boring shit. That's one example of many doing this on the development side of the house and deploying them. Now, in our space, this week I posted about Hackajob's new agents that will provide better inbound experience for candidates, easier, more targeted sourcing and screening, plus my favorite, an agent that takes the newly opened rec, finds qualified candidates that you've already paid for in your applicant tracking system database, and engages them, right? So this is going to be something that's literally injected into your process methodology, and you're going to be able to save a shit ton of cash, not just on headcount, not just on making sure that your recruiters stay around longer, your turnover is not as bad, but also to be able to save money on not spending a shit ton of cash on Indeed and getting a bunch of candidates that just, to be quite frank, are shit. Yep. But let me be clear. Those are only two areas. And I think there are going to be many other areas where AI is going to be force fed into our life. And we're going to take it. We're going to take it because it's going to make our life so much easier.
We're going to take it. And by the way, kids, if you're surfing porn, make sure you're in incognito mode. Incognito mode. You don't want that future.
With a VPN,
you don't want that history showing
double
up
VPN.
for anybody. Yeah. Listen to
Use
your Uncle
protections,
Chad.
kids.
Listen to your
Use
Uncle
protection.
Chad and Cheese on that one. So I was at a luncheon with our friends Acquire ROI yesterday here in Indy. Yeah, I can't turn down a good steak, So there were TA people there, recruiters that are employers, and we had some conversations. And so obviously AI was part of the topic set. And I just kind of asked, I said, what kind of AI tools you guys using? And it was like Microsoft Copilot, it was ChatGPT, it was Claude for development, et cetera. And my next question was, well, what kind of HR tech tools are you using? Now, some of these are small businesses, but it was like crickets on what HR tech you're using. So I do believe that it's going to be really hard behavior, like you mentioned. If recruiters are playing around with ChatGPT when it came out, like, let's plug in this job and like clean it up or make it more fun or get up, grammatically make it better, et cetera. So they're doing it on their own time and dime. I don't know if that's going to change. And when I see Chrome has Gemini built in, it's like, well, shit. I mean, it doesn't take a genius to go, well, at some point, if I can make travel arrangements on Chrome, if I'm a job seeker, why can't I just go to Indeed and tell the agent, all right, go search, go do a job search and apply to jobs that fit me, right? And maybe there's a resume you plug in. Now, I do think it'll be interesting to see if the marketplace for Chrome extensions plays into this, and you can give preferential treatment to a certain app that is an HR tech component to then go and do things. But I do think that people are going to use agents in Chrome to go to LinkedIn and like, hey, search resumes for this job, and here's copy and paste the job, find me candidates that fit this, and then now outreach to them. Like, that's gonna happen. And I think it's got to scare the vendors to death to think that people will just opt for Google, Claude, Perplexity, et cetera, to do all these recruiting tasks instead of HR tech. Time will tell, but there's so much money in these big tech companies. There's so much resources and brand recognition and trust. Like, it's going to be really hard for them to battle that. And I know we've said, like, look, job boards are going to get killed by Google for jobs. So maybe I'm way off base and they just don't give a shit. But I think agents are going to do whatever you can do on a browser and do it for you. And that includes searching for jobs or searching for candidates. And I think that's kind of where it's going. Now, LinkedIn and Indeed are trying to be a layer of agentic that you just go straight to them instead of use a big tech component to it. And I think they'll be in a pretty good position. But for the smaller guys, man, I don't know. I think it's a really tough ask for them to compete on that level. Now, I do think also we talk about job scams a lot.
Yeah.
So I do hope that there's a layer of security, and the release talked about that as well. Like, I hope there's some security around, like, hey, this is an AI generated interviewer, or this is like, beware, this is not something that you should trust. Like, that would be really nice to see from a job seeker's perspective, because job seekers are getting fucked, and they're going to get fucked a lot more thanks to AI. But hopefully the whack-a-mole of AI can keep up with all the scams that are out there. Fingers crossed.
We take a look at we talked about the MIT survey a few weeks ago, and really the basis behind that was that they were trying to literally just force ChatGPT and Copilot, and they really didn't know what the fuck they were doing. And again, you go to a CTO who thinks they're God, they have no clue on how to build these things. Difference being, and this is where the superpower is for vendors in our space, if they can get their agents baked in to a Workday, Oracle, SAP, then go to the little guys, Jazz HR, those types of things, right? The Bamboo HR, those types of things. That to me is where the key comes in. And I think that's where these companies, and just talking like Juicebox, love saying that, Juicebox, that's where they can win. If they can get into those marketplaces and they can be baked in to those different types of platforms, that's where they win, because they're going to get acquired. And if they don't get acquired, they're going to make a shit ton of cash before that, right? Which is beautiful. So I really don't think that. And again, going back to your idea around Google for Jobs, also Facebook for Jobs, and everybody had it for jobs, right? They couldn't pull it off. A couple of different reasons. Number one, it wasn't worth the money to put the research and development in for this space, because there's just not that big of a TAM. So it's not going to be that appetizing for them. So they're not going to do it. If they do, it's not going to be for long, which gives the vendors in this space an opportunity, really, hopefully a shot in the ass, just to go get this done and get it baked in.
Yeah, being integrated into the browser is going to be big. And I got to think Firefox and Safari and Opera, like, those are small browsers, but it's still a good chunk of this. The browser is going to be super important going into the future, and whether they can make it or not, well,
60% of the time it works every time.
All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break. If you like what you heard, give us a follow, would you? Give us a follow.
So you posted a new job ad. Now you can sit back and wait for the applications to roll in, right? That's why we built JobPixel. Imagine showing candidates why your company is great with real people, real stories, and real culture. With JobPixel, it's not just another job ad. It's an invitation to something much bigger.
Video gives you a 3 times better response rate. So instead of chasing after candidates, they'll be coming to you.
And with a 34% boost in conversions, candidates aren't just looking, they're applying.
And if you're worried about people clicking away, don't be. Our videos reduce bounce rates by 25%. That means they're watching, they're engaged, and they're interested.
282% more engagement. Yeah, you're going to need a bigger inbox.
Finding the right candidate is tough, but with JobPixel, it doesn't have to be. Show your company's authentic story, and the candidates will follow.
Let's make recruiting fun again, because honestly, it could use some help.
Do you want to see how JobPixel can save you time and money while achieving your KPIs? Schedule a demo today.
All right, Chad, let's talk a little LinkedIn, shall we? They've launched the Learning Career Hub. That just rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? Marketing must have really put their heads together on that one.
Who names these things?
Anyway, they've launched this to help users develop skills, particularly in AI, and published a guide on future-proofing careers in the age of AI. However, the platform is struggling to combat a surge in fake recruiter profiles and job scams, despite implementing stricter verification requirements. Users and experts express frustration over the prevalence of scams, which undermine trust in the platform and waste job seekers' time. In other news, LinkedIn's co-founder, Reid Hoffman, says seeking work-life balance is a red flag that you're not committed to winning. Chad, LinkedIn is why we can't have nice things around
my
here.
line, you no good punk kids.
What's your take on all things LinkedIn this week?
Yeah, I think I want to thank LinkedIn first and foremost to be able to spend the resources to actually demonstrate to the rest of the world that LinkedIn, Indeed, middlemen should not be doing this. Okay. Not just because of the scam side of the house, but also because of the L&D side of the house. Mm-hmm. It's different. If you go to Microsoft and talk to them about their L&D and you go to any one of their fucking competitors, it's entirely different, right? So to try to be some generic, half-baked fucking solution is not the way to go. Period. Just not the way to go. So thank you, LinkedIn, for spending all that money, resources, and whatnot, and showing the rest of the world this is not what you should be doing. On to the work-life balance thing. I said this for years now. The real red flag is any founder and or CEO who wants you to work yourself to death for them. Mm-hmm. If a CEO wants you to work that hard, or as hard as they do, let's say, they should provide equal wages, benefits, stock options, all the shit that they're getting. If not, shut the fuck up and move out smartly. Anyone falling for this bullshit, I fear this is a short term, make some really good money and fucking burn out. And I've seen many of those, many people actually do that, where they just work their asses to the fucking bone. Next thing you know, they're out of the industry for a few years and then they come back because they're just fucking burnt out. If you're a leader, and I can't believe Reid Hoffman is actually saying this, but if you're a leader, you should actually be saying something entirely different. I guess he doesn't care that he would burn through employees, but it just doesn't make sense. I don't get it.
By the way, Reid Hoffman is like the most laid-back, stress-free guy on the planet. He's so loaded and just walks around and talks shit like it's he's.
There might be a wee problem.
He makes me laugh. So on the learning thing, do you remember when Apple launched their VR headset? And it was just everyone knew it was just dumb. It was a prophylactic for sexual intercourse opportunities. So. Tim Cook wouldn't even put the thing on, when they was on stage. Like you knew it was a hedge against Facebook and Oculus. You just knew like they were in the Apple headquarters and said, you know what, if this headset thing really happens and we're behind the curve, then we're fucked. So we might as well spend some money, put some resources behind it and hedge our bets that maybe it'll happen. But if it doesn't, we can kind of walk away from it. This feels a lot like that. It feels like the LinkedIn brain trust was in an office and said, you know what, Degreed, Fuel 50, Gloat, Lattice, this whole learning upskilling thing, that seems like a thing. Maybe we should get into it. And unlike Oculus, like upskilling is a thing and companies are doing this, but it feels like LinkedIn is forcing this. They made some, lower level developers work on this. So they're hedging their bets in case, okay, we do have a product. No one will leave LinkedIn for that. They can use us. And if we're just like 50% of the quality we're so convenient. It's so easy to just check the box and add a little more to your account on LinkedIn. Like people will just do that instead of, go to a competitor. And it just feels like a half-assed product that they hope that, enough people do that it makes it worthwhile. But I don't think it's on par with some of the bigger competitors that are out there. The Reid Hoffman thing, it just feels like there's so much monkey see, monkey do in Silicon Valley. Like Eric Schmidt drops a bomb. Salesforce CEO Mark Benioff drops a bomb, and they all feel like we need to drop some bombs. And he woke up that day and said, "You know what? You're not into winning if you're not into like so. Fuck off. Seriously, he's the most laid. It's like Craig Newmark and Reid Hoffman.
I don't get it.
Are eternally on like barbiturates. It's incredible that he would come up and do this. So anyway, I'm sick of that whole like you're not winning. The work-life balance stuff is bullshit. It's just so played, and I think he's just doing a monkey see, monkey do on that one.
So the Apple visor thing, it brings me back to a presidential election. Michael Dukakis, when he put that helmet on and he looked like a fucking dork. And like his presidential election went down. Tim Cook did not want to be Michael Dukakis.
No, I don't want that. I don't want my legacy to be me putting this headset on and looking like a total clown. Looking
awesome.
I'm going to come.
All right, let's talk about Ford real quick. Ford CEO Jim Farley, no relation to Chris, or is there a relation? I don't know.
Yeah, there is. I think they're cousins.
I thought there is cousins, right? Anyway, I want to party with Jim Farley now. He made headlines at the Ford Pro Accelerate event this week, warning of a U.S. skilled labor shortage with millions of high-paying trade jobs unfulfilled. He committed $5 million. What a guy. To train 15,000 plus workers by 2026. Christ. Farley also predicted a 50% drop in EV sales due to the expired $7,500 tax credit, prompting Ford to delay EV launches and focus on affordability, saying America isn't going to buy a $75,000 EV. He highlighted China's EV dominance as a threat, urging better U.S. tech and training. Chad, what are your thoughts on all things Ford this week?
So let's go back to Apple in China and then also Tesla in China real quick. Why did China get so fucking good at technology so fast with cell phones, with cars, with all of that? Well, what you have to do is you have to give 50% of your company to the government, to the Chinese government, to gain access to their big market, right? Well, that's what Apple did. And they spent billions, not this little chump change shit that he's talking about, billions in training 28 million employees. Apple alone, 28 million employees. Tesla did the same thing in a much smaller fashion, right? So what Jim Farley is doing here, go fucking figure, is looking for corporate handouts. He's looking for corporate welfare because he knows that the government will give the big guys money. We don't want, the little guys who actually need food on the table and they need a roof over their head to actually get this. Companies like Ford should be spending money training people in their community, in middle school. Yes, middle school, high school, college, community college, not to mention Bill Strickland, one of my fucking idols out of Pittsburgh. He used to actually have a school where there were out of work moms that would come and that he would teach them through Bayer. Bayer actually funded this. Bayer, the pharmaceutical companies funded them getting trained to be pharmacy techs.
Yeah.
Companies should be paying for this shit. Not $5 million, billions of dollars, right? That's where we're falling short. Fucking China is outproducing us in vehicles. They're the biggest EV manufacturer in the world. How did we allow that to happen? This is how it happened. Guys like Jim Farley, who just want to fucking pissant, look for fucking welfare from the government. We got to change this shit. We've got to actually put our profits back into the organization, not back into stock buybacks.
Emotional damage.
Easily, yes.
So this is sort of the state of America right now. Back to the boardrooms of these companies. Like, they're looking at Nippon Steel buying U.S. Steel and America taking a cut and being on the board. They're looking at Intel getting a 10% take from the government to the tune of billions of dollars. And they're saying, where's our cheddar? Where's our cheese? How can we get a little piece of that government action?
Yeah.
And no one, like the car companies, love the government money quite like they do. And I'm sure the folks at Ford are like, we should be getting a little 10%, stake from the U.S. in Ford, and that would probably make Trump look good and make him feel good to take a little piece of an American car company. So $5 million is a joke. $5 million is laughable for a company like Ford to say they're going to change the game with $5 million. Like, their 30-second Super Bowl ad was $5 million. Like, give me a break with the $5 million. And I don't know if that's going to be like a hat in hand thing. Like, we only have $5 million to put towards this. Uncle Sam, can you help us? Can you help us put more towards the workforce? All the time, I'm guessing they're racing toward automation. I mean, part of China's dominance is that they have figured out manufacturing at a level that we don't. They have also figured out government money and funding going to some of this stuff on a level that no other country can.
Are we going into the China model? Because that's what it feels like. And I didn't wrap that up. I didn't cycle that up. I'm sorry. But they take 50% of a fucking company, and then still Apple pays billions of dollars to do this. So not only do they give away half of the company, they spend billions of dollars. I mean, it feels like we are becoming China.
It's the great grift, man.
Fuck.
The great leader gets rich. All his buddies get rich.
Oligarchs.
Again, see 10% of the money consuming 50% of the shit. Like, we didn't even talk about drug money, right? Like, let's kill Medicaid, but then like give you cheap Viagra. So the world it's crazy town. But yeah, this could be a wormhole that we could go down. But I do think every major company in America is thinking, how do we get a piece of what Intel got? How do we get a piece of what, and then you got NVIDIA giving money to OpenAI. So it's like this shell game of let's just move the money around.
Left pocket,
to buy our
right
own
pocket.
shit. Like, this may not end well, everybody. This may not end well. And it's only going to get worse, I fear, before it gets any better.
Will Waymo make us happy? That's the question.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's take a quick break. Again, guys, if you like what you're hearing, give us a follow and listen to the ads, because there is no show without the ads.
At Shaker Recruitment Marketing, our comprehensive services include branding, talent attraction, MarTech, and analytics, empowering you to achieve your recruitment marketing goals. We believe in doing things the right way, delivering the right message through the right activation, achieving the right conversion. For us, business is deeply personal. Our legacy is built on relationships. Together with our people, clients, and partners, we've been shaping the world of talent for over 70 years.
Police near San Francisco say a self-driving Waymo vehicle made an illegal U-turn, but when pulling it over, realized you can't give a citation to air, raising questions about accountability when driverless cars break the law. With more autonomous vehicles hitting the road and more examples of things going wrong, law enforcement is figuring out what to do with all this automation. Chad, what's your take on the issue?
The question is, where's RoboCop when you need him, right? I mean, this is like perfect. This is perfect for RoboCop. But seriously, there are so many. So I got a speeding ticket in Spain, okay? I didn't get a speeding ticket from a human being. That speeding ticket came to my mailbox.
Camera?
It was a camera. Caught me. Boom, right? Got me. Now, soon what's going to happen is it's going to catch me. It's going to know the license. In this case, I was in a rental, so it might not be fast, but that fast. But if it's my car, then it should be able to take it out of my bank account fairly quick, right? Okay. So the question is, if Spain, well, Portugal can do this too, by the way. If Spain, Portugal, 10 million people, that's it in the entire fucking country. If they're doing this shit, why don't we know that this is Waymo? We nail them. That's cool. You don't have to pull them over and read them the fucking riot act. Okay. All you have to, you've got video evidence. You've got a picture, whatever it is, speeding ticket. You've got the miles per hour. You get the kilometers per hour. Boom, boom, boom. You're done. So we, for some reason, I don't know why, are so fucking antiquated in this goddamn country right now. It's driving me crazy. I'm over in these little bitty countries. Little small ass countries in Europe. And I'm like, oh my God, I feel like I'm in fucking Star Trek compared to the US.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. By the way, we have some hidden footage of you driving in Spain. Anyway, so Waymo did get some good news in New York City. Their permit was extended from a month through the end of the year. So they did at least get some good news. I'm with you, man. Like, at least in your situation, you can pick up a phone and say, you know, that wasn't me. That was Tunce's, my cat, driving the car or whatever, right? And you can get mad and tell everyone, like, these cameras are bullshit and we should vote out of office anyone. Like, literally, I think in Phoenix, they had these and the people were just like, we're going to vote in whoever says we're going to get rid of the cameras. Waymo and big tech can't do that. Like, no. Just like European countries are sticking it to U.S. tech for like big bucks that they just go to the couch cushion and get $30 million, whatever. I fear like all these local governments, instead of pulling you over with a camera, they're going to figure out how do we give Google and Waymo a $10 million, fee for all the shit that they've been doing around our neighborhoods. And Google will just say, shit, and send a local government a $10 million check every month. Like, I think governments are going to like abuse the shit out of this, and they have no
good because they don't pay taxes anyway.
Yeah, humans aren't going to be pissed because they're like, yeah, stick it to Google and stick it to Tesla. Yeah. Like, let them pay for my new high school football field. So anyway, this is probably not going anywhere nice, but automation. I think I'm here for it. I'm here for the Waymos. I'm here for cars are stupid. 20%. They're not investments. They are money pits. And I'm here for the automation. And hell, if my local community can get more out of Elon Musk, who now is the $500 billion man. I mean, it's just fucking. Shit's out of control. We're out of control. Let's get to our dad joke and
please
take some meds for God's sakes. Take some meds, Jesus. All right, Chad. We're sticking with golf. Our original theme of the show here. Why did Rory McIlroy wear two pairs of pants at the Ryder Cup? Why did Rory McIlroy wear two pairs of pants at the Ryder Cup?
Because he had a hole in one.
In case he gets a hole in one. But close enough. Close enough. Serving you a meatball there. All right, guys, cheer up. Go Cleveland. We out.
We out.
Thank you for listening to... what's it called? A podcast. The Chad. The Cheese. Brilliant. They talk about recruiting. They talk about technology. But most of all, they talk about nothing. Just a lot of shout-outs of people you don't even know. And yet you're listening. It's incredible. And not one word about cheese. Not one. Cheddar. Blue. Nacho. Pepper Jack. Swiss. There's so many cheeses and not one word. So weird. Anywho, be sure to subscribe today on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. That way you won't miss an episode. And while you're at it, visit www.chadcheese.com. Just don't expect to find any recipes for grilled cheese. It's so weird. We out!